产业创价新力学长寿趋势之创新生产力论坛即将开始，再过5分钟。
Ladies and gentlemen, our seminar is going to start in 5 minutes.
各位贵宾，现场活动。
Ladies and gentlemen, our conference is going to start shortly. Please switch your cell phone onto the silent mode. Thank you for your cooperation.
各位贵宾
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our event, which is Industry Value Creation New Model Innovation Productivity Forum on Longevity Trend. I'm the MC today. Let me introduce our guest of honor today. First of all, we are very happy to welcome Minister without portfolio Wan Yilin of Executive Yuan. Well, welcome Minister Lin. And then President Bao Chengzhang of China Productivity Center. And also President Li, and also President San from the Community Development Center of Taipei, and also Director General Zhang Yuxuan from Yunlin, and also Mr. Lin, Manager of Human Resource Recruitment of President Enterprise, and Professor Chen Wenyi from Taichung. And also Director Xu Yueliang of Yuanzi University. And also Vice President Shi Longchen of CPC. And also Chairman Luo Zhongyou from Shibao Company. Thank you for your long-term support to CPC. This event is sponsored by APO. The theme of today's event is to explore the efficient promotion of products and services to diversify consumers in the trend of population aging. We hope that through today's event, we'll be able to cultivate sustainable development momentum of enterprises. First of all, let's welcome President Bao Chengzhang of CPC to give us an opening remark. Let's welcome him. Minister Lin of the Executive Yuan, and also Mr. Li from the Taiwan Elderly Care Association, dear speakers, and many old friends and new friends, and people who are interested in the subject matter, and also the friends from the media. More importantly, this event is broadcast live, so our friends from the 20 member states of APO are now participating online. I cannot say good afternoon because due to the time difference, sometimes I should say good morning. So on behalf of CPC, I'd like to welcome you to our event. We know that longevity is a trend. So if with that in mind, when we want to explore innovative productivity, this is very meaningful. So we have been cultivating a very important theme. That is, we want to embrace the trend and also to improve the quality of our life through lifelong learning or continuous reading. And we have spent a lot of time preparing for this subject matter. I'd like to help the sponsoring and assisting organizations. And more importantly, I'd like to thank Minister Yingwan Yilin for participating in today's event. And he's going to give us an opening remark as well. And also, I'd like to thank a very important sponsor, Asia Productivity Center. This organization was established in 1961. Initially, we joined APO as the Republic of China, and we were one of the 8 founding members. And at that time, there was a program, a 2025 vision program of APO, and we submitted our proposal, which was recognized. In the past, I think people will be talking about aging and longevity. Actually, the theme is that I think whatever themes we are choosing, actually we are facing an irreversible trend, which is happening. I'm sure that many of you are experts and have very good idea about this. Currently, the portion of people above the age of 65 is about 16.5%. So very soon, it's going to exceed 20% of the population. So when we were thinking about the theme of today's event, we were also thinking about the 68th anniversary of CPC. So CPC has been growing with the economic growth of Taiwan. Of course, CPC should keep abreast with the trend. So through the government programs and also CPC's own programs and also the support of APO, CPC has also made a lot of efforts in exploring this effort. Later, our speakers are going to share with you many different aspects about this subject matter. The point is that we need to have better or faster development in the future. There is a new book which is about new business opportunities thanks to longevity. according to the book, actually about the market opportunity of longevity is valued at about 22 trillion US dollars. So from different aspects of our livelihood and also the trajectory of development, we need to pay our attention to the trend. So we are looking at a world which is going to be very different from the future in terms of the servers and hardware and software conditions. So I think, of course, through the support of the government and also the collective efforts, basically we have a very good start, and we have there are a few dimensions that we need to focus on. First of all, we hope that we can call upon your attention to this matter. And also, I'd like to invite you to work together with us so that we can embrace the concept of lifelong learning, and also inclusion is also a very important concept. We should include various stakeholders so that we can move ahead together and achieve prosperity together. Another concept is sustainability. So in the course of our efforts, we have also reflected upon what we have done in the past. We reflected upon the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, and there are two goals are consistent with the trend. The fourth is lifelong learning. So in addition to working with enterprises and also the industries, CPC has also released many publications, and also we have engaged in a lot of interactions with each other. So I think this kind of interactions are partnerships. This is reflected by the SDG 17. So I think today's event is kind of unique. I'm sure that whether we have a lot of similar events such as forums or workshops, and it's very rarely that such event is disseminated through simultaneous interpretation and broadcast online to different stakeholders in different countries. In July this year, I noticed that in Singapore, which is a small country, still the aging population also accounts for 16%. It's very similar to the situation in Taiwan. I believe that in Singapore, I think they should have similar measures. So we, under a BCBM program or APO, we visited Singapore, and our friends are going to share with you what we have learned. And there are, of course, lessons to be learned. And also, there are private sector sponsored activities we can also share with our member countries. So I'd like to thank you once again for joining us out of your very busy schedule. I was told that we have a full house. We need to rent another meeting room to participate on a real-time basis in our event. So in addition to partnership, in the spirit of partnership, I think we need to work together. I'd like to thank you once again. Thank you, President Zhang. Please be seated. Now, we are very honored to also have invited Minister Wang Yilin from the Executive Yuan of Taiwan government to give us an opening remark. Let's welcome Minister Wang Yilin. I think I better stand here. President Zhang, President Li, and also the speakers today, our guests of honor, and our friends from online. I cannot say good afternoon, but it's good afternoon for the audience in Taiwan. I'd like to thank President Zhang and President Li for your support in disseminating or popularizing this theme. And also, I'm grateful for the opportunity to share with you my experience. Many of you probably do not know me very well, but my name is Wang Yilin. In Chinese, my name is quite auspicious. That means very rich, extremely rich. But actually, this is a misnomer. I'm not that rich. This is a name given to me as a result of overcompensation. I am invited because I'm in charge of the programs related to aging society, ultra-aging society, and also the programs addressing long-term care within the government. And of course, I'm in charge of programs designed to address the issue of low birth rate. So I'm in charge of relevant issues within the Executive Yuan. I'm in charge of interministerial coordination. That's why I'm invited. Indeed, not only in Taiwan, I'm sure that in many countries in the world as well, that we are all facing population aging. We can see different trend. The trend is moving from industrialized countries in the core, and eventually you can see that the percentage of the population above the age of 65 is very high. We can see many European countries and Korea, Singapore, Taipei, we are going to follow in the footsteps of European states. We are approaching 21% of aging population by 2036. I believe that 28% of the population will be older than 65 years old. This is ultra-aging society by the definition of the United Nations. But this is not tragic. It's not, a tragic, give you a tragic sense of sunsetting. Guess how old I am? I'm in my 50s, right? That's more or less correct. So as this book just said, even though it seems to us that it may be arbitrary to decide everything by age, the cutoff, the threshold defined by the United Nations is 65, but some countries use 60. We use a particular age threshold as a cutoff to differentiate old people from young people. But it may not be pragmatic, but I think this may not correspond with our personal experience. But maybe we can use the concept of course, that is maybe a journey. It's a better word to describe the differences in terms of the needs at different ages. So I'd like to focus our attention a little bit for our discussion today for the seniors in society. Maybe I use this word, seniors, but you may wonder, how about the people above the age of 100? Well, they are just relatively few, but generally for people who are considered seniors, I think most important thing that we need to consider is that we need to know what they need. They need health. In 2020, about people above the age of 65 consumed about 15 trillion US dollars. And the highest share of consumption first of all went to healthcare.
So I may not have climbed the highest mountain, but I also enjoy hiking in the mountains. And I once met a elderly who was hiking with me, and her daughters were saying, well, look, the vitamins you took are truly working wonders. You can walk without having to rest so often nowadays. And so I don't know what she ate, but it's pleasing to see the elderly hike in the mountains with the youngsters. Of course, I'm not here trying to sell what kind of vitamin she's taking, but it's clear that people are getting healthier, and the elderly group is becoming a larger group nowadays. We see ads, or actually more ads for targets, for products targeted at the seniors and the elderly lifestyle, for example, dental implantations, etc. So when we talked about the senior market being at over 700 billion, it's only at about 13.6% of the overall population. But it's not just these long-term care products that sustain the market, but also the various other products that make such lifestyles more comfortable. The government itself has already spent about 80 billion in terms of the budget for the long-term care. So not only is this a huge market, but also a key focus of the government. A third point I'd like to raise is the issue of safety. When we speak of safety, we talk about economic safety. We say no matter what age you decide to retire, you need to have a retirement plan. You can retire at 40, at 50, but you need to have financial security and stability, because if you don't have financial stability, you age quicker. It's a significant pressure. In Taiwan, elders give out red envelopes during the Lunar New Year, and you need to have financial security and stability in order to freely give out red envelopes, which contain, of course, cash, meant as an auspicious symbol. So the point is, you need to have a sound retirement plan, have a stable financial plan after you retire. We've also talked constantly with the FSC, the regulator, on financial issues to ensure that, for example, the elderly, as they are more susceptible to cons and scams, we need to seek out ways and create regulations to protect the minorities, to protect the seniors. Oftentimes, the seniors may have a significant amount of savings, and we want them to be able to keep their savings. Another important part about the elderly lifestyle is connections with a society. Once you're able to achieve a healthy lifestyle, you would want to have a connection. Our standpoint is to continue working, to encourage people to continue working. Well, we see a lot of people retire even after the so-called retirement age. But if we have heard from our president, well, I'm sure he's also close to retirement, but you can see that he's healthy and he has a loud and strong voice. So we believe these seniors are still an important part of our workforce. Of course, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to work to make a living. You can still fill your life with, for example, travels, with different plans, or even volunteer work. You don't necessarily need to work to make a living, but rather, if you can fill your life with different activities, that would be great. When I traveled to Europe, I actually met a lot of tour groups that were comprised of mostly seniors. And they took, for example, the Eurostar and visited the restaurants that offered cuisines suitable for seniors. The tour guides also talked to them in a way that is easier on the ear for seniors, and they participated in activities such as concerts and other activities more suitable for the elderly. Therefore, as a society, we need to truly understand what seniors need, what seniors want, and how to keep them healthy, how to allow lifelong learning for these seniors. with more activities suitable for seniors, we would not only create an environment that's more conducive to their health, but also allow more connections with the current world. And these can all be translated into innovative and new services and businesses. The fifth part that we can assist would be to assist them in terms of mobility as well as convenience. For example, for some of the condoms or buildings, apartments, for example, perhaps the lower floors can be set aside for seniors, for elders. Because if it does not come with an elevator, then it'll be difficult for seniors to walk home, to take the stairs to go home. Of course, there are many ways to resolve this. We have these electric lifts that can be attached to staircases, but it's inconvenient for seniors. So there are still many areas that we can improve to make it more convenient for seniors to enjoy the lifestyle. This would include the products that we use, as seniors may find it more difficult to carry out the finer movements with their fingers. Their eyesight may have deteriorated. Therefore, we need to create products that are more suitable for them. The percentage of mobile phone use in the senior group has increased from 18% to 54%. And in the past, for example, it would be difficult for the seniors to use cell phones because the buttons were very small and it was difficult for them to input the commands. But now we already see a lot of improvements in this area, and that's why we're seeing more seniors using cell phones. And these all translate into business opportunities. As a company, as a member of the economy, these are all areas where you can provide new products and new services that differentiate yourself from others. For example, about 20% of the seniors actually live in these social welfare institutions. And as part of the social care safety net, we want to make sure that they enjoy their lives as well. Be it ESG or SDGs or the earlier concepts of CSR, we believe that the elderly or the seniors are an important part of our population, and we should allow them to continue to enjoy their lives in our society as they age. We want to decrease the convenience and other challenges that may have existed. So once again, it's truly a pleasure to see so many with us today. I'm pleased to see so many people interested in this topic. And with your innovation, they will live a better life and you'll enjoy a better business. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Minister Lin. Next, I would like to invite all the distinguished guests to participate in a group photo with us. This is truly a unique event, and for all the attendees in the venue, please look at the cameraman in front. And with your right hand, please give me a thumbs up. Also remember to give us your best smile. Let's give another a tiny heart gesture. Embrace life, embrace a new lifestyle. Thank you very much. Minister Lin would have to leave us because he has other important affairs to attend to. So let's give Minister Lin another round of applause and thank him for giving us an opening remark. We shall now begin with the agenda today, and it's a pleasure to first invite Assistant Vice President Mei-Fen Chen of CPC's Lifelong Learning and Longevity Studies Department. Let's welcome Assistant Vice President Chen. Okay, distinguished guests, distinguished speakers, and friends from different walks of life, friends in the venue, and our friends from APO online, as well as the attendees in another venue. I am Mei-Fen from CPC. It's truly a great pleasure for me to share with you the projects that we have carried out at China Productivity Center targeted at promoting elderly services. This is the outline of my presentation. So the first part will be on the current and future state of global aging. We've had a great opening from the President and Minister Lin. I would say aging is a ongoing trend. And sometimes people say that it's harder to live than to die. And we already feel how a lower fertility rate is affecting the society. If we look at the statistics from the United Nations, a low fertility rate is creating a huge challenge for the world. But of course, this also means new opportunities. Ministerial Portfolio Lin has already mentioned that in 2020, although the ROC is not challenged that much by the aging population, but the speed that our society is aging is actually faster. And by 2070, we expect the percentage to exceed 40%, that is the senior population. If you look at the past trends, you can see that currently, since 2017, with the advent of technology and latest advancements, the super age population, or those aged 85 and above, is expected to come in at 31% by 2070. This is a huge challenge for the society.
And this issue has long been identified by the WHO, and as a result, WHO has put forward the concept of productive aging. And it covers healthy aging, successful aging, and active aging. I'm very happy that many of you can participate in today's event. It just translates into your recognition that lifelong learning is very important. So in today's event, we're going to listen to presentations regarding different aspects of the elderly service, including senior employment. So when in the face of the drastic change to the population structure, the different organizations such as public and private are working together to ensure a better quality of life for the elderly. In the Ministry of Welfare, Health and Welfare has launched a 10-year long-term care program, 2.0. And the program is designed to provide quality of care to the elderly, and also regarding the convenience measures for the elderly. And now there are already different accessible facilities being designed, and also the Ministry of Labor has also issue programs to promote the employment of the senior citizens. And currently, that percentage is 9%. I believe that in the future, it's going to maybe exceed the 30% in Japan. And also, the Council of Agriculture, or the Ministry of Agriculture, has also similar programs. That is to leverage green resources to provide better care to the elderly. And we are very honored to have invited a representative from a village who is going to share with us how they benefit from the program. And also, the IDB has also spared no efforts in dedicating itself to promoting the smart healthcare industry development. So, in terms of the smart healthcare industry technologies, I think we have achieved quite significant results in terms of family security or smart healthcare solutions, and also smart games to promote the health of the elderly. We have seen significant achievements in Taiwan. And also in terms of the social engagement policies, the Social Affairs Department of the Taipei Municipal Government has come up with different programs tailored to community care and also self-help citizens. Now, in terms of the collaboration among the corporations, CPC is very honored to participate in this program so far. We have spent several years contributing our expertise, and we have dedicated ourselves to helping the dissemination of of senior artisans. And also in the past few years, we have also invited experts from Europe, Korea, and Japan to participate in a large-scale senior employment symposium. And this symposium was attended by more than 700 people, larger than the audience today. And also, we have been commissioned by Occupational Development Institute of Taipei City to conduct a research regarding how we can bridge the gap between the supply and demands for senior employees, so that we can come up with training programs appropriate for the elderly. As Chairman Zhang just mentioned, in July this year, through APO's bilateral program, we visited Singapore to conduct exchanges with the government and the private sector in Singapore. We hope that by doing so, not only we can engage in our collaboration with stakeholders in Taiwan, we can also expand our cooperation with other countries as well. We know that the elderly may have some difficulties in chewing food, quite different from the young people. So I think the Food Industry Development Institute has been focusing their attention to certifying food that is favorable to the consumption by the elderly. And also, there is a smart technology research institute that has dedicated itself to, or ITRI has dedicated itself to developing technologies that can help the elderly, or that can provide better elderly care to senior citizens. And after the technologies will be transferred to different companies. And for Taiwan Textile Research Institute, this institute is also developing clothing which is better suited to the needs of the elderly, so that it will be easier for the elderly to lead a healthy lifestyle. And also for the industries, the Taiwan Elderly Care Industry Association, which was established a few years ago, the acronym of the association, which is TCIA, it also has dedicated itself to promoting the quality of life of senior citizens. Now, in addition to CPC's programs commissioned by the government in the past, for a long time, we have conducted in our research in program organization and also training and counseling. We have served many companies, including Changgen Health Promoting Village, and also other similar projects. And also in October this year, we just published a book. It's called The Business Opportunities, or the Rise of Longevity Opportunities. In addition to the business opportunities made possible by longevity, CPC has long dedicated itself to studying various business opportunities, and we hope that through this book we can disseminate correct marketing concepts in the face of longevity trend. So I'd like to invite all the guests to take a look at or to check out the book, which is on the exhibition outside. And also, CPC seeks to play the role as an integrator in providing services for the elderly. We can play the role of incubation and education and training. And also we can work together with government sectors and the industries, and so that we can work together and provide, contribute to the creation of longevity-related products. And we need to come up with products and services that are designed to cater to the needs of the elderly, so that we can enhance the quality of life of the elderly and also realize the value of sustainable society. Thank you very much. Thank you for your presentation. If you have any questions regarding our presentation, you can, in your information packet, we have a QR code. You can scan the QR code and leave your questions. And at the end of our meeting, we'll have a Q&A session. Now I'd like to invite Chairman Lian Cheng-san of Sunxin Community Development Association in Wenshan District of Taipei City. His topic is aroma of noodle workshop building a paradise of lohas. Let's welcome him. Good afternoon. My name is Lian Cheng-san. I'm the chairman of the Sunxin Community Development Association. I am asked by the organizer to be the first speaker. I think it's fair because I'm from the grassroots organization. I'm very grateful to the CPC for giving me this opportunity. I'm going to talk about the elderly. Many speakers before me have been talking about things which I think my association has been doing. I did not run for the next term of the association. I have about 20 minutes in my presentation. I don't like to use the word elderly or the old people. Before my mother passed away more than 4 years ago. My mother fell accidentally, and she bumped her head, and she died. I think she was very kind to my brothers and sisters because she didn't want us to suffer too much, because I think she died quickly. And because of what happened to my mother, I set up an organization or a group in which mothers or the elderly above the age of 65 or even 70 can participate. Among the audience, some of you are younger, some of you are older, and I've been doing this until the age of all the way to the 70s. I know that by doing so, we will be able to maintain we may be able to stay healthy. I'm going to play back 2 video clips. So what has been discussed right now has been carried out by my association already. But the minister is not here. I hope that he could stay and listen to what I said. I think innovation is very important. It means that we see something and we make changes before launching the new results. We have been trying to be innovative to elderly care. When I'm a community leader, I think when I'm the chairman of an association, I've always believed that creativity is very important. And I've been thinking about ways that will allow our elderly to feel useful, to do something in the future. I retired from a stock company, but right now, for me, stock is not important. But the most, it's just like stock investment. You just don't just look at the present time. You have to look at the trend. When I was a community leader, I launched a program. Do you know? Have you heard of this program? It's called 一清, One Clear program. Do you know what that is?
有没有人知道疫情专案？好了，
So does anyone know what the Iching project is? Right. So only a few people. That's actually one of the key projects from the government. Basically, that project removed many of the, for example, villains from the society. Basically, it's actually a project from the government that wants to clean the society of the bad guys. We can actually be a bit more lighthearted in my session. So, if we look at the project, this was the project by the government. They actually caught a lot of bad guys and sent them to prison. So when I was the head of the township, I said, okay, I want to carry out a similar project myself. But for us, we want to make sure that all the roads and the gates in our township are clean. So we need a lot of volunteers. And most of those volunteers are actually over 65 years old. I took the position of the chairperson of our township in 1999, and I created an institute for the elderlies. So is this considered creativity or innovation? It's a creativity, you know. Try to stay awake. Try to stay awake. You can fall asleep when the farmer association is up here, but try to stay awake now. Okay. Of course, that's a joke. But what I set up was a 83 marketplace. Do you know what a 83 marketplace is? Of course, you know what a marketplace is, but a 83 marketplace means that if you have items that are still usable, for example, books, toys that you longer want to keep in your home, you can donate them to us. And then during these marketplaces, we would carry out charity sales. Do you think this is a good idea? Great, I'm hearing a resounding yes from the audience now, because this not only just contributes to the environment, but also is an environmentally friendly activity. So now we have these donated items. Who should be selling them? Well, I asked people who are aged over 83 years old to be the storekeepers. As I've mentioned earlier, I established a learning institute for the elderly, and I did not restrict the attendees. I actually invited people from other townships as well. When we look at the slogans, people often say that we need to care about the elders, we need to provide for the seniors, but oftentimes that's not what they actually do. They were just boasting. When people think of seniors, they still think of people who need to be taken care of, who inconvenience others, etc. So what we need is actually to give them a true platform or stage to shine. In the institute, oftentimes, for example, the 50 or 60 years olds actually get to be at the better seats. Those who are 60 or 70 years old are able to answer questions quicker and faster, etc. So I thought, no, we need to give those above 80 a platform as well, a stage as well. For example, at the institute, I tell them you should not bump into anyone because it's easy for them to fall down. So when I was thinking about not just giving the elders a platform, but I want to give the super age the platform, I therefore came up with this 83 marketplace concept. I asked these seniors who are over 80 years old, or these over 83 years old, to be the storekeepers, and actually gave them the authority to set the prices. You can set whatever price you want. For example, if a friend comes over, you can actually give it to them for free, or you can give them a huge discount. It's totally up to the elders' discretion. And that actually was had a very interesting outcome, because you would see that in their daily interactions, people who tended to be rude to them actually spoke to them very kindly at the marketplace because they want to get a good discount. So this is actually an actual platform that can allow them to shine. You know, these 80-year-old seniors are great at numbers. They may even be better at numbers than the younger people. There was I remember one case when there was a female customer who came over and said, "Oh, so how much is the hat?" Hat is 50. And then when the head of the local association came over to ask, "So what is the price for this?" Well, the storekeeper immediately raised it to $100. I said, "Okay, sure, no problem." Well, I said, "So why did you increase the price from 50 to 100? Well, the senior said, "Well, because the head of the local association is richer, so I can sell the hat to him at a higher price." That was almost an instantaneous decision. And of course, it was kind of like it was a very interesting situation because everyone heard it. Next, I would like to share with you a short clip that is perhaps describes our projects better. Okay, I was actually the person in the room. Okay, so in this local township, the alleys are very shallow, but we have a lot of new immigrants, and however, there are also a lot of seniors with us in this township. We know that they are lonely, and we know that they have needs. We have orphanages and social welfare institutions here, but that's not enough. So how do we turn the normal or the daily into something interesting? We use our heart. We put in our efforts. So when you buy our dumplings, our gnocchis, and our pastries, it allows us to get some income. So we're actually able to provide free meals for the elderly from Monday to Friday. This is the aromatic noodle workshop. They have turned themselves into a restaurant with local characteristics. They also send online to Taoyuan, to Taipei, and they've created a society that invites a senior. Well, I received some feedback and actually lowered it from 83 years old to 80. So this is actually where we set up shop at the Taipei main station. It's 30 degrees Celsius, and we invited these seniors who are over 80 years old to serve as storekeepers. Well, the gentleman you just saw is 92 years old. And here we also see how in my township we're able to give out these free meals for the minority groups. We believe that this is an effort to not just give back to the society, but also to give the elderly and the seniors a place to shine, a place to showcase their skills and to contribute to society as well. We also provide institutes that train people to become caregivers. And this is a news report that showcases how we invited the seniors to work at the restaurant and to make these free meals for the minorities. And this actually allows more seniors to participate. This one is 91 years old, this one's 88 years old. This one's 92 years old, this is 96 years old. Can you imagine that? They are all smiling, and they actually contributed to turning our township into one that is worthy of the headlines. Thank you very much. No one was willing to participate in such an activity in the past. And this actually requires the collective collective actions. Okay, this is the next clip that I'd like to share with you. This is also a news clip from in Taiwan, and it showcases how the Shandong Noodle Workshop has actually become like the media child of the Shunxing Township. If you look at this noodle shop, you would see many seniors working here, and this actually not just provides them a place to work, but also has turned this into a very unique place. Well, as you can see, that was me, but I actually dyed my hair black at that time. And Mr. Stan is saying that since I am from my ancestors from Shandong, therefore Shandong is well known for its noodles. I decided to not just contribute back by sharing the recipes with others, but also wanted to give the minor group and the seniors a chance to work and to give back to society. So as you can see in the interview here, one of the workers is saying that it's a great place to be because I have colleagues, I can work, and my friends no longer look down on me because I'm bad at hearing. Actually, I've lost my sense of hearing. But if I work here, I've regained some respect. And another of his employees, Mr. Ong, is saying that, well, I used to have a company that makes glasses, but after it went bankrupt, it almost broke my life. But after getting to work here, I was able to get some financial income and to gain respect again. So this was a noodle shop that has actually given back to the society in its own small way. So these, as you can see, were from the media. We also have received various agencies from the government departments when they wanted to showcase our work. My goal and my dream is to allow this model to be replicated everywhere in Taiwan. I hope that if one day I move to another township, I would see a similar noodle shop there or a similar platform there for seniors, and one that I can participate. I've always been saying that, well, just talk is not enough. Innovation and creativity needs to be implemented in real life for it to be truly useful and effective. And what I've showed everyone is what I have been doing. I know what the seniors want. For example, when we talked about, I think, Manager Lin from the HR, when I was talking to him, he said, well, if we have, for example, seniors working at the convenience store, then I would support that store wholeheartedly. Many of the clerks at convenience stores are young people, but I would say the seniors are also a great workforce. So I will actually truly encourage business owners to employ more seniors. Well, I was given 15 minutes, but I can actually go on for 2 hours. So finally, I'd like to share with you one last line. After you retire, you need to still keep an active lifestyle. If you don't keep an active lifestyle, it means you'll age quicker. So once again, I'd leave that as a message for you, and let's move towards and work together to a better society. Thank you very much. Right? Thank you very much, Chairman Shan. I would like to invite the President Zhang of CPC up on stage again to present a plaque of recognition and appreciation. Thank you very much, Chairman Shan.
好，
Welcome to our township.
及
Now the next speaker is Yuxuan Zhang from the Citong Township Farmers Association. The topic is Green Care as New Solution for Aging Locals, creating a cooperative ecosystem with agricultural multifunctionality. Thank you. I'd like to thank CPC and all my good friends. I'm from a small township in near Zhuoshui River. The population is about 30,000. 90 people of the population engage in farming. In 2020, we started to work with CPC. At that time, there was a project called Green Care. So beginning with 2020, I think the Farmer Association has received the top 10 Green Care Award. Before we enter the space of Green Care, actually about 17 years ago, I was a Director General of the Farmers Association. It was not the CEO. I was not the CEO. But at that time, we had a bank. And at that time, the Farmers Association has launched the so-called Water and Soil Conservation Program before the government. So when we started to work on Green Care, we could get ready and use our best efforts to carry out the program. So I'd like to share with you how we conduct the green care. We build an ecosystem based on agriculture. And many of you have participated in the government in terms of the long-term care program. And you may have developed some bad habit, but we have our system. And sometimes when people work with us, there may be, some people bickering for these senior citizens. So in that case, a system is very important. But you also need to have, you also need to be flexible. You need to show your care. So whenever they have any need, when they call us, we'll have people to provide services to the elderly. We're just like a family to the elderly. And over the years, we have identified a type of care which is different, which is untraditional. Many elderly like to compete with each other, and then we set up a competition system. And many of our ideas are based on our local indigenous brands or products. For example, garlic. In early times, I think Citong is a very well-known place for the production of for the plantation of garlic. And the Japanese consumers love to purchase our products. So all these elements have been incorporated in our program, and these elements will make or bring the elderly closer to us, and we will be able to reduce the gap between us. And also, cooking is also a very important theme. Many elderly are very interested. Over the years, according to our research, most successful programs are related to cuisine and cooking. And also, nostalgic cultural elements are also very popular. And also, online games have been included in our programs. And our ideas are posted on our Facebook fan pages. Many people will see the fan pages, and also we can come up with appropriate products. And then we started to take orders. And for tourists, they can come here and order what they want to order. And also in the implementation of the program, simplicity is also very important. Otherwise, for some senior citizens, they cannot handle complex things. So we are very different from traditional long-term care in that we have our own local resources. For example, we'll lease a farm, and we can provide opportunities for the elderly to plant the garlic under the guidance of our experts, and they can grow their own fruit, the food ingredients, and also in our area we have 6 elementary schools, and also we are now working with Citong, a junior high school. So for this kind of cooperation and co-learning, we work with educational institutions, even kindergartens. And if it's necessary, we can recruit household or domestic chore-related volunteers. They can interact with the elderly. And also we work with pharmaceuticals to come out with healthcare-related subject matters. And also we work with Huiseng Pharmacy. And also we also explore cooperation with National Taipei University of Nursing. And on December 15, they are going to visit us to see how that can be operated. And also their teachers will send their students to serve as interns in our township. And also, there are many other activities that the elderly are quite good at. For example, creating brooms or creating or preparing Chinese dumplings. We also have a program called 543, which is harmony in Chinese for collaboration. So we have the 543 care station, and actually this station provides opportunities for the elderly to get together and have a good time in chatting and helping each other. And also we have shared lunch. We established the 543 communal kitchens in compliance with Health Bureau regulations. And also for the food ingredients, even for ingredients used in classrooms or for actual consumption, these food ingredients are derived from local producers. And also our focus is on the elderly who live alone. And the participation rate is very high. Sometimes they feel sorry that if they cannot join us, and we say that, still we encourage them to attend if they want to obtain certain assistance. And also, we monitor the blood pressure fluctuation. When they sign in for our activities, there is a card that is issued to them. When they swipe their card, they will go through a process of measuring their blood pressure. And this is the first class. We begin with some memory exercise. Have you practiced this game before? Involving small bags made of sand. We use something that the elderly are familiar. And we do not use sand. We use rice husk. So we divide the participants into different groups for competition. And as you can see that these are peanuts. We encourage the elderly to remove the husk of the peanuts. And this is a champion. You can see that at the end, for each group, you see the grandma there, and the grandfather is her husband. But we took a snapshot of that interesting moment. I think that this grandmother is 95 years old. And the one in the right, and this is the champion, and she's very excited. And also the grandmother, who is very old, also participated in the game. Have you played this game before? So if you haven't played this game with us, you can join us. So you can teach them, and they turn out to be quite good at the games. And this is the seed of longan fruit, and we use them as chess pieces. And at the end of the competition, of course, we need to prepare the prizes. So you can see that these are the prizes, and this is a game which involves shooting. We can use
鳄鱼协会的理事长，我就叫他
use a slingshot. And you can see, as you can see in the picture on the table, you can see the agricultural products of Sitong. And if you hit the target, you can collect the reward. And of course, you cannot shoot money. So we use a fake bill as a target. So if you hit the $100 bill, you can go away with a $100 bill. And you can see that the elderly is quite intent. And if you miss the target, we'll apply the eye drop, eye medicine for you, indicating that, well, maybe you can, by doing so, you can improve your eyesight. And this is a squid game. We watch the the television series in Korea, and then we prepare our version of Squid Game. Of course, this is not there's no violence in this series. You can see that we have 6 different groups, and these are the food ingredients that are used for the meals together. And also there is a class that shows the elderly how to create things like this, the dolls like this. The scarecrow. And this grandmother is quite used to be a celebrity. She was a high-ranking executive of Zhonghua Telecom. You can see that she is part of the program. She participated in the program. You can use, for example, some kind of leaves which you can collect and create some kind of artifact, which is quite interesting. We also work with a paper mill in Guangxing, and for our elderly, we distribute a book to them, and the book basically are like notebooks, and they can create drawings in the book. And you can see that they have created their drawings. And in summertime, we also distribute a fan like this, and they can jot down their own names. And then this is involving the decoration of our site. And this is something that's created out of banana leaves and also even rings. And for the meal together for the first time, what happens if we don't have a bowl? Well, we can create a ceramic bowl, and they can create it from earth, and then we can put them in the kiln to create ceramic bowls. And we encourage them to create their names on the bowl. And then this is the creation of brooms, and this is something that a 95-year-old grandmother told us how to do it. In the countryside, after the rice is harvested, we can create. We have gain access to this kind of waste materials, and then we can use the materials to create something like that. It's something like this. It has become a cultural and artistic product. Guess how much it costs in the cultural fair? Or 500? Well, I will tell you, it's very expensive. If you have visited to this kind of a market, the price is 3,600 NT. And this is how we created this. There is a grandmother whose daughter is working in Hsinchu Science Park in Industrial Park. She created this piece of work. She gave the piece of work to her daughter as a housewarming gift.
And of course, since one of our local specialties is the garlic, we actually turned them into an abacus, and we taught the seniors how to use an abacus. And this was actually a very unique and interesting product. This was one of the local government officials. I did not know the person at first, but he heard about our activities and wanted to see what we're doing, and that's how we got that photo. Well, speaking of these paper made from garlic peels, we think that's one of the unique producers of Citong. So this is another lamp that can be made from the peelings of garlic. So we'll be able to turn garbage or rubbish into gold or into revenue, and we're actually getting orders for this. We also have a Mr. Junling Song, who was internationally acclaimed, and we invited him over to teach us how to make use of our daily objects and turn them into artwork. For example, this is a cat made from buttons, actually buttons that are not used. This is actually a very traditional makeup process called. This is a type of makeup. They use the strings to basically remove, for example, the fur or remove the impurities from your face. And we also asked Shiseido to give us makeup courses. And you can see even a grandfather was here to learn about how to put on makeup. And this is another lady who suffered from depression. But after participating in our classes, we began to see her smile more often, and there's no longer symptoms of depression. There's also another activity that focused on giving the seniors a different look. So we invited, if I recall correctly, it was a flight attendant who came to share the different costumes and different looks that we could create. We also invited people to read and to share stories with them. And of course, since we have agriculture as one of the main industries, we have these tubings used for pesticides, and these excess tubings can then be used in other furniture. So this is actually another activity you took. Now, since I only have 1 minute, so I would like to share with you, this is actually like a catwalk that we created for the seniors. And we also have, this is an award that we have provided. We also need to have awards at the end of the year. And the lady just received a Best Service Award. And she was so touched, she actually cried. Here we have these Lantern Festival quizzes, lanterns that we would hold on these festivals, and the lanterns actually handmade. And we have all these different preserved fruit, for example, preserved pineapples. And here we have from the rice dumplings. This is interesting because we don't need teachers here for the rice dumplings, because all these seniors have their own recipes, and they all think that they are able to make the best rice dumplings. So no teachers for courses like this. And in different classes, we also see chances to invite youngsters over for them to make turnip cakes. Chitong is also well known for its bean curds. And this is tofu, preserved turnips. And we also participated in their My Dish activity. This is a preventive medicine activities with you. This is actually this is the garlic rice that was showcased at the presidential building. And we have the different handiworks and artworks they were created. Green care is an activity that should invite the whole family. It's not just for the seniors, but also for the youngsters. We've now been encouraging these seniors to go back to their communities, to share what they've learned, and to care for others. And so in our community, we can actually ask the seniors who have participated in courses to go back to society, to go back to the communities, and to take care of those that are even older. I myself, for example, will give them haircuts, and if they're unable to come over, I will actually provide home services. So for many of these seniors, they may have only seen people on TV, but they've never been on TV themselves. So these activities actually allowed many of them to be interviewed, actually be on TV themselves too, and that was actually a very unique experience for many as well. So in these agricultural exhibitions, We actually brought the garlic abacus with us, and that also took the headlines. The classes and activities were very interesting. And the point is, we wanted to allow the seniors to enjoy life as if life is fun and life is a game. That is our slogan. We want to ensure that the seniors can enjoy their LD life. No one suffers from depression. And when we give out the roses, the fragrance actually stays in your hand. That is my personal experience and how I have felt. When we worked with the seniors, I thought we were teaching them, but actually it was our team that learned from the seniors the most. So by sharing the warmth, we hope to see activities like this in every farmer association in Taiwan so that the local communities can be connected to the farming industry and to introduce and invite more industries, for example, the fisheries, to participate. So once again, welcome to the Chitong Township if you have time. Thank you very much. Next, we would like to invite President Zhang on stage to present a plaque of appreciation to the Executive Secretary Zhang of Chitong Township Farmers Association. Thank you very much. Next, we would like to invite Manager Jackie Lin from the talent recruitment team of the Department of Human Resources of President Chain Store Corporation. His topic is fostering an ageless workforce, sustainable transfer of human capital to enhance industrial competitiveness. Let's welcome Manager Lin. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends online, friends in the venue, good afternoon. I am Chen Shuo from the Human Resources Department of the talent recruitment team, and I'm pleased to share with you how we foster a workforce that includes seniors today. So for this project, it started in 2018, in about November or December of 2018, and I was included in this ageless workforce team. Well, initially, I didn't know why I was chosen. And my boss asked me, so do you know how old are you? I said, I'm 45. And do you know that this means you're at the mid to elder group? I said, no, wait, I'm 45 years old only. How can I be considered a mid to elderly? I was actually a bit displeased because it was as if I was tagged. And my boss said, that's exactly how I want you to feel, because that's how the seniors feel. We think that they are slower, they are not as fast. And if you are displeased if I've tagged you a mid to elderly, tagged you in the mid to elderly age group, then keep that in mind when you are creating a senior workforce so that you understand their plight. So I was in charge of the ESG of CSR and the Silver Age group. So one of the reasons why we had this project was because we've realized that it'll be difficult. It's more difficult to live than to die in Taiwan soon, and that's because our society is not convenient for seniors. So we do see many projects that's aimed at giving the seniors a more convenient lifestyle. But what about work? So at that time, we held meetings on a regular basis to try to come up with work models for seniors. So these are the steps that we took. In the first place, we worked with the government. We refined and redefined the roles in a convenience store. We need to first set the roles and responsibilities. And one thing we discovered was that if we kept focusing on their physical capabilities, for example, they have worse eyesight, they are not as fast, then I would say no one wants to hire seniors. So we collected information from all 6,800 stores, and we asked if you already have seniors, can you give us a short paragraph describing what are their advantages? So we call them now the 3-star employees. And what we realized was seniors have a lot of patience. Seniors are more patient when the customer isn't able to clearly describe what he or she wants. Second, the seniors are willing to provide assistance. For example, when they see people in the store not knowing what to do, the senior employees will actually be more willing to meet them and ask if they need help. And the third is empathy. Many of the customers who come to our convenience stores are not necessarily here just to buy things. They just want to come to a place where there are other people. For example, seniors as well. And we realized that these senior employees are actually more willing to chat with the customers. So this actually allows us to attract more customers. So this is why we call them the 3-star employees. Why do I give them 3 stars? Because they are very stable. The most elderly customer is 73 years old. He joined our company when he was 59, and he has been working here ever since. And this senior loves to chat with the customers. And another interesting thing is he was one of our top salespeople. At that time, we once invited people to come over, and a lot of the store owners were reluctant to this change. So we asked about the feedback when we asked him to employ a senior. And the store owner actually told us that, I didn't know that seniors are such good people. At that time, we were trying to sell these $8,000 air fryers. And this senior employee actually sold off 72 air fryers. The total amount sold of the surrounding stores was less than 70. So I was actually taken back, and I thought, well, maybe she was one of the top salesperson before she retired. And actually that was true. When she was selling the air fryers in the convenience store, she would actually make different dishes using the air fryers, and actually she sold to many of her neighbors and her friends. So if you keep focusing on their physical disadvantages, then you would not want to hire seniors. But if you focus on their advantages and merits, then they would actually perform better than the younger generation as they have a unique advantage.
And then we start to design our training schedule. In the beginning, we think about what they can do. Now we have a plan. We have more than 6,000 stores. So we cannot make too much adjustment because many store managers will be perplexed. So I think we start to think about what should we start with, and we start with the training program for newcomers, and then we come up with the principles, 4 major principles for the training. So for easy things, they should be covered first. For example, the capture of the customers or the cleanup of the facilities. And then for the senior employees, they are more concerned about the operation of cell phones. Sometimes they don't feel comfortable about using complicated devices. So we put that at the end of the training program. And in terms of scheduling, we don't require for them to work for 8 hours. Maybe 4 hours will be good to start with. So if you only work for 5 days, 4 hours a day, 4 hours a day, and I think they can receive about more than 11,400 people, $400 NT dollars. And then if they can handle a 4-hour daily work schedule, we can extend the 4-hour work to maybe 6 hours per day. And also the store managers should be more patient with the senior employees. And after that, we can proceed. I just talk about what we can do to be more friendly to senior employees in the training and the design. And then we start with the environment. We begin with a store that is friendly to the senior citizens. And then when I visited to the store, I'm really surprised that because most of the customers are above the age of 50s. We redecorated the store so that the store facilities are more friendly to older people. For example, we have in addition to a place where blood pressure can be measured, we also prepare some warm water thermal bottle, and because some customers can use the warm water to take medicine, and also the store can organize regular events so that they can interact with local customers. In April 2021, we work with BJOR Gas Foundation and also Pingdong Christian Hospital to launch the first Silver Age store. And for the store, all of the employees are above the age of 40. So we hope that for the employees who have become older, maybe even older than 60 or even before they retire in 65, they can have a different career. So now the store serves customers that are of the same age. So in the course of the business activities, the employees may feel that actually they don't need to go away after they become old, and they can still, because they have become friends with local customers who are of similar ages. And then after we have successfully launched the programs, now we started to launch a recruitment program. In the past, we have recruited store managers who are very young, and then we start to recruit store managers who are senior citizens. And this is a kind of a short-term experience program if they feel that they can handle this kind of work, and then we can arrange maybe a 30-minute interview with a prospect, and then if they pass the interview, they can start their work on the following day. And this is my experience after attending dozens of this kind of senior employee shows. In the past, I think I chatted with many of them, and I asked them why, whether they were interested in working with convenience stores, and they said that I don't want to fill out my resume. I'm in 60s, and it's really very time-consuming to fill out the resume. And then we set up a resume platform. So in the past, maybe only 4 out of 100 resumes were sent by people above the age of 45, but after the platform is online, the number of the people submitting the resumes above the age of 65 grew by 4-folds. In the past, we have the 7-Eleven is It's good. It's good. Nice to have 7-Eleven. This is our slogan. I think a 7-Eleven will be better while you are here with us. How much time do I have? I still have time. Let me share with you a story. The 7-Eleven has a good tradition. Each year we are given about 4 to 6 days to revisit the stores, the first line stores to serve consumers. So on September 10 and 11, I rejoined a store. I said to the store manager, I said, I want to challenge something that is most difficult. I'm currently 50. So in the 2-day internship, can you, I'd like to mend the POS. I like to prepare coffees for the customers. The store manager wondered if I could handle that. I said, no problem. I think I can handle the labor work. And then, okay, he agreed. And then there was a customer who came in. He said that I want a mid-size latte with ice. It's something very simple, right? I said, no problem. And then I push a button on the coffee machine, and I need to add ice cube. So I brought out a pack of ice cube. So the coffee was pouring, but there was no room for me to add the ice cube. But the cup was almost full. I asked my colleague, how come you could not add ice cube? She asked me what button I pushed. Actually, I pushed the wrong button. It was a hot latte because ice cube addition was not required. So that's why the mistake was made. Because I was thinking of the right button, but it turned out that I pushed the wrong button. And I also insisted that I pushed the right button, but it turned out that I pushed the wrong button. And that was quite embarrassing. I said, it's okay, I can prepare another cup. And 10 minutes later, another customer came in, and he ordered a mid-sized hot latte. I know that's exactly the button I pushed, which was incorrect, and then this is the button I pushed. But this time I pushed, no response. I pushed again, and no response. And for the first time, no response. I also talked to my colleague again. What happened? Have we run out of a coffee bean? Or if the coffee machine is broken? She asked me which button I pushed. I said, a hot latte. Did you push this one? There is a silver button, and you need to push the silver button. And next to the button, there are 3 words. It says mid-size hot latte, but it's not a button. It's just a label indicating what the button is for. I put my finger on the label instead of on the button. I did not push the button, and the customer was unhappy. And the customer just say, but he said, okay, it's okay. And the colleague just said, I could not. How can you learn? She was very soft in her complaint. But even though I was 50 years old, I could see her hear that. I said that, I'm an old man. How could you yell at me? I tend to be slow. It's quite normal. Everybody make mistakes. We're human. So that was a little bit upset, but the customer just said to me, it's okay, you are a newcomer, right? I said, quite out of embarrassment, I said, I've joined the company for 25 years, but I said, yes, I'm new today. He said that I know your colleague for a long time. In the beginning, she made the mistakes about dozens of coffees. And then my colleague just complained, why did you sell me out? And then I realized that actually, when she was complaining, actually she was not actually complaining to me. That was her, linguistic habit. and that's the way she conveyed her emotion. That she always that's the way she talks. Whenever she's commenting on something, she always had that kind of attitude. So she was not actually yelling at me. So it's and then I realized that it was not a really fearful experience for all people to join the workforce. So actually, the senior citizens are also concerned about how they will be viewed and treated. I've been doing about a lot of 2.0 employment treatment, and I think I've been encouraging the store managers how to deal with senior employees, but I did not spend enough time and effort thinking about how we can encourage the potential senior employees to be confident in handling their work. Otherwise, even if they join the company, they cannot stay employed for too long. Okay, that concludes my sharing. Thank you very much. Thank you for your sharing. Now, please stay on the stage. President Zhang is going to present a token of our appreciation. Thank you. Now, please be seated. Now, we are going to have a 10-minute break. Now, please feel free to walk around, and you can see our new books on display outside. And also, you can see a QR code. If you can scan the QR code and submit your questions. Or you can scan the QR code that is included in your information packet. So think about the questions you'd like to ask, and then we'll have a Q&A session at the end of today's event. Thank you very much.
下半场活动即将在1分钟之后开始，我们请各位来宾尽速就座。好，我们下半场的活动即将开始，我们请各位来宾尽速就座，请各位回到我们位置上喽。产业创
Welcome back to the forum on innovative productivity in longevity trends. We'll be focusing on how industries can create new value. In the first session, we looked at how agriculture and the society and the community can create new value. Next, we would like to look at a different value creation method. Let's first welcome Director Huang from CPC to share with us how business opportunities in longevity create new models in the reading and book introduction. So next, we would like to, it's my pleasure to share with you this topic under the leadership of President Zhang. We launched the Embracing the Radiance of Reading Joy campaign, and this is already the 9th session. So starting from March, we began the event with a micro forum, and we started with the smart manufacturing and productivity course on National Sustainability Alliance Exchange event, and later we focused on the green upgrade, creating sustainable opportunities, a decarbonization seminar addressing carbon anxiety, CPC leading digital transformation, assisting companies in embracing adaptive culture for swift changes. In August, the Women Leadership Development with Diamond Talents, emerging leaders, low carbon brand and cross-domain value creation. Towards the next new normal, ESG sustainable development, and also an annual Institute Creative Industry Mutual Prosperity annual meeting. And finally, in October, we had the R&D Managers Association, which with special lectures. And these are the 10 books that we showcased in our events. And last month, It was our pleasure to be recognized by the Gold Book Award, and 2 of our books published last year received the Gold Book Award. Next, I would like to share with you the latest book that we have published, that is Embracing the Radiance of Reading Joy. We used orange as a color theme for the new book, and the purpose was because orange was the color selected to represent a year, and this color also represents the senior and the elderly, as well as the life force of humans. So this is the rise of longevity opportunities. The author is Susan Wilner Golden. She is a Stanford Business School professor and also an advisor to longevity research. She herself is a living example of practicing the different life stages. So when above 60 years old, we call this actually a third stage. In the past, the life is categorized into 3 stages: learning, working, and retiring. But nowadays, it's no longer so. After 55 years old, we face a society that has perhaps its majority and majority above the 55 years old. This means that we need to set new goals and to maybe try out different lifestyles. So for this book, instead of segmenting life into 3 stages, it's now into 5 stages. One of the key concepts raised in the book is we should no longer be restricted by the concept of age. For example, when we talk about caregiving, it could happen at 30 years old when you need to take care of your parents, or it could be at 60 years old because you may still need to take care of your parents. So this actually opens up new opportunities, as the person may not be 60 yet, but already a customer for the longevity business because she is already in a caregiver role. So we also see different cases studied in the book. In Nike, for example, they have the first access to prototype products project. In their clientele, about 10% are the so-called long-term or loyal customers, and oftentimes they are more willing to purchase more Nike products. Of course, they are also more senior, but Nike does not focus on creating for the senior, but rather they focused on how they see themselves. These seniors see themselves as lifelong sports people, and therefore they simply continue exercising or doing sports. They are not just turning into seniors, and therefore their definition is actually a lifelong athlete and a continuous and persistent athlete. So this changes how they market.
So they define themselves as lifelong athletes. And this is a product that is developed to cater to the characteristics. And also, the focus is also on lifelong, continuous, and persistent athletes, and the product and services are designed for longevity customers, and the products are very successful. Another case study is about expanding social circles. We just listened to examples of Zhenxing community, and also the wonderful sharing about the Farmers Association. In Japanese, there is a ikigai, which means the purpose of life. In Netflix, there is also a video series or film series. For the series, a lot of examples such as Zhenxing community or the Green Care Farmers Association, they have tried to identify examples like this. In the U.S., there are statistics that show that if you are facing a sense of loneliness when you grow old, it may affect the remainder of your remaining life. and it will shorten your life expectation by 6 to 7 years. So if you can expand your social circles, you can expand your life expectation. And the statistics are provided to the federal government and relevant government agencies of the United States. And as a result, the hospitalization ratio was reduced, and also the medical resources have been better conserved, so that this is a successful case. And also facing your remaining life after you have reached the age of 65, this translates into a large market. We need to pay attention to the market. It also brings good business opportunities. So that concludes my introduction of the book briefly. It also contains questions and answers regarding the strategies to enter the longevity market. And now, three heavyweight speakers are going to give very important presentations. Let me stop here and let's welcome the following three speakers. Thank you, Director Yu Jia, for your sharing. The next speaker is Director Ye Liangxu from the Technology Research Center at Yuanzi University. His topic is new business opportunities in technology for seniors. Thank you. I'm very happy to have this opportunity to give a presentation to you. I'm a professor in the Department of Mechanics of Yuanzi University, and we have a gerontology research center. So I'm sorry I have something to attend to at in Taoyuan at 4:30. So after I finish my presentation, I need to be excused. I have listened to the three presentations before me. They are really great eye openers for me, because they give their presentation from different angles. But here I'd like to talk about the business opportunities related to silver tech, the technologies for the old people. I also have a new startup company, and I'm the founder and the chairman of the startup company. So I also have a lot of hands-on experience in the industry with respect to the technology for the seniors. And there was a wonderful introduction of the book. I think the book has a very interesting title, Stage, Not Age. The concept is that we need to understand and serve the rapid growing market of those age 60 or above. And we also listen to the sharing of elements involving different fields. That I'm going to talk about what is gerontology technology. This is a very focal matter. Last week, I went to Canada to attend there is a program called Edge, something related to aging. And in Japan, also, recently they had a seminar regarding gerontology. And actually, Minister Lin led a team, the government team, in 2021 in preparing a white paper for aging society. I participated in the drafting of the white paper, and I am the only. There were 10 professors involved in the drafting, and I'm the only one in charge of related to the technology field. In the beginning of this year, I think this aspect has attracted a lot of attention. The National Science Council conducted a strategic meeting regarding gerontology. The gerontology industry is going to be the next TSMC for Taiwan. So the vice premier said that the the market value is estimated at in at least 3,000, at least 300 billion NT for technology. So I'm very happy that this has attracted so much attention, but there are new issues. The first is, what is German technology? Do we have a consensus? And another issue is that some people equate German technology with smart technology, such as cell phone technology. And also the third question is, what can German technology can achieve? And the fourth question is, what is the problem of German technology? There are problems such as they don't need means, they are not very user-friendly, and they cannot carry out the functions that they promise. What is German technology? Currently, in the academia or in different circles, many people are trying to define what German technology is. When I traveled to Canada, they were talking about H-Tech, but I think I prefer German technology. And German technology has a brother, which is gerontology, or geriatrics. So these words look very similar. So I like this etymology route. So I think this was coined in 1991 during the first International Congress on German Technology. And in around 2000, the year 2000, I joined this field. And at that time, I was trying to come up with a Chinese translation. But my translation was not, I don't think it's very good. So I think maybe my research center should be renamed due to the translation issue. But people sometimes ask me, you, as a professor in the field of mechanics, why do I want to work on or specialize in German technology? We know that in order to define German technology, you need to work on the design, and you need to design something that will enable independent living and social participation of the elderly. And the scope also covers health and mobility, communication and leisure and health. And you may suddenly realize actually this is what your company is doing, right? Your company is doing something that is related to maybe some of the elements that I've just talked about. So by working together, we'll be able to find areas where you can contribute. I think the government's concept of the production value of 300 billion. I think the concept is somewhat different. I think the government is the idea is about mass production, but I don't think this concept is more than that. I think if the business opportunities will definitely exceed that production value. So the second question is, what can German technology do? So we are not only facing aging society, we're also facing a society where the birth rate is really low. So, but my purpose for this is to discuss with you what can German technology do. We know that we entered the age society in 2018, and we will enter super age society by 2025. The three oldest countries, in Germany, they progressed to super age society over a long period of time. But in Taiwan, we are going to move much faster. Within 10 years, we are going to enter the society of the super age society. So I think it's time for us to leverage technology. But we are number one here in this. We don't have a lot of things that are number one in the world. But last year, I think the fertility rate was very low, only 0.87. And it means that on average, it just means how many children can one woman give birth to. And so only 0.87%. We are also even trailing behind Korea. So Taiwan is ranked on the bottom. Taiwan is even after Korea. So we have negative population growth. So, but we need to support. That means we need to support the caregivers. So we do not just design technology products for the elderly. The most important purpose is to support caregivers, because the senior citizens do not buy the technology products. Usually, their caregivers would purchase the products. So if we can come up with proper products, there will be good incentives for them to purchase the products. And the third statistics is that for the male, I think after retirement, the male population still have 17.55 years to live, and for women, they still have about 20 or 21 years. So the issue is long-term care. It's not just that. We need to leverage technology to extend the remaining life expectancy of the elderly. So it's very important to support the caregivers and to extend the life expectancy of the elderly. And the timing is now. And this is our research center. It was established in 2003. In 2013, people did not pay attention to the issue of aged society. But in 2016, I did something very silly. I set up a company. But at that time, I was carrying out a project under the Ministry of Economic Affairs. At the school, we often encourage students to be creative. We need to come up with a prototype and demonstrate the prototype to other people, and then we have prepared academic papers. But if our prototypes are not commercialized, they are absolutely useless. So in many international seminars, I often heard different visions. But you need to carry out the vision through products. Otherwise, the research will be useless.
If we put in 1 point in effort, we need to at least get a tenfold result in order to make sure that it's cost beneficial. So oftentimes we talk about what's the difficult part is not just to create the technology, but how to commercialize it and how to sell it on the market. So I believe what's most important is to ensure that the design can be commercialized in the product and be sold on the market. That is actually proof of a good design. I'd next like to share with you smart technology. I've actually used this slide at least many times, and this is actually a story from the 24 Stories of Filial Piety. There are, of course, a lot of unique and special stories that may not be suitable for today, but this is actually a real story. So one day, Shen was picking firewood in the mountains, and a guest of theirs came to visit them, but his mother was at a loss, and she wanted Shen to come back, but he did not be, so she bit hard on her finger, and Shen suddenly felt a heartache and came back home immediately and asked his mother what happened. And his mother said, well, I bit my finger hard so that you would know. And so my question now is, do you think she bit her finger intentionally? Please raise your hand. Or did she bit it unintentionally? Well, actually, it was intentional. I love to use this picture because the mother actually intentionally bit her finger to summon her son. So this is actually the beginning of remote care. But the point is smart technology involved? No. It's actually similar to how you used to send messages by using pigeon carriers. It's just that biting your finger actually may have been faster in creating this telepathic link with her son. But using this story as a beginning, how do we talk about smart technology? This is water bottle that may come with temperature sensors and controllers, but this is not smart or not intelligent enough. So how do we add something else, such as, for example, motion sensors? If the water bottle is able to learn when the senior has drank water or has drank from the bottle and actually collect this pattern, then we can use this in the analysis. And if the pattern changes, then we would know perhaps maybe our senior is not taking enough liquid water. And this is actually not an idea that I came up myself, but rather Japanese house appliances have already thought about this. Therefore, so what does it mean to be a good geriatric? This is precision geriatric. That's the key. Basically, it means you need to provide the exact care at the right time for the right person. This means that's the actual correct interventions that make sense. And it's not actually done by robots, but actually by humans. So let me skip the next slide, and I'd like to share with you this one. So the acceptance of new technology. Sometimes it's difficult to accept new technology. Seniors, for example, are quite adverse to new technology. The actual challenge is in the actions required, not technology itself. In 2007, a huge change occurred in the technology landscape. No one did this before 2007, but nowadays everyone is doing this. What was I doing? I was swiping on my phone. So what happened in 2007? iPhone made its debut. The iPhone, of course, is a technological marvel, but what it brought along is actually a new behavior model. So what's difficult is the behavior model and not the technology itself. This is Dr. Fogg's model from Stanford. M is motivation. To create a new behavior, you need ability and motivation. By ability, he means how to make it more accessible. For example, the price point, etc. Here, the key is the motivation. Let me ask you a question. Seniors may have presbyopia and they need to put on glasses. So which one is more adverse to seniors? You would see that seniors actually hate hearing aids more than glasses. How about these types of walking aid? Of course, no senior likes these walking aid. But how about these, for example, treadmills? People like to exercise and want to exercise at home, so they bought treadmills. But what happens to most treadmills? Well, they become places where you hang your wet clothes. So there's a difference between motivation and ability. And finally, it's about the trigger. Oftentimes, for many products, it will fall in this area, which is the motivation is low and the willingness to use them is actually so low. Therefore, a lot of products are seldom used by customers. So what does a trigger mean? Trigger here means how we move the product to move it across a line. If we ask technicians or engineers, oftentimes they believe it's because it doesn't have enough functions. So the original product had 5 functions, and let me add 3 more. Then people would be more willing to use it. But that's actually not the case. If we look at this slide, I talked about motivation here. There are many different motivations that people can have. We have so-called the black hat, the white hat, the experience-oriented external reasons. But the point here is motivation is what drives behavior. Ability does not drive behavior. This is also what I always tell the engineer students. They always focus on function, but I tell them you need to focus on the motivation for using that function, because without motivation, the function would simply not be used. Finally, I'd like to talk about this message in the book. Not only does it simply talk about new technology, it actually shared experience of a senior who was interviewed, and he said, well, my body is 70 years old, but in my mind, I'm only 45. Well, I'm 60 today, but one day I hope that I can say the same thing. I can say that I'm 70 years old in body, but I'm 45 in mindset. For example, I love playing basketball. I play basketball since I was 10 years old. When I was 30, I began to think, does this mean that I actually need to retire or stop playing basketball at 40? Because I was worried I might become injured. But when I was 40, I thought maybe I should stop at 45. But nowadays, I say I will try to play basketball for as long as possible. That is the key here. We're not talking or measuring life in stages. It's how we age. When we play basketball, we want to go all out. I think that's the same in our workplace. As long as we're able to fully utilize our capabilities, then age is simply just a number. 60 means the fourth quarter has begun in a basketball match. And if you enjoy basketball matches, you know that in the fourth quarter, sometimes teams actually would fight to the teeth in trying to get a win. But sometimes, since the score is quite perhaps drastically apart, therefore the teams may simply play along just to use up the time. So this depends on how we view the fourth quarter of our life and how you play your fourth quarter. Thank you very much. Right? Thank you very much. Let's also invite President Zhang back on stage to present a plaque of appreciation. Thank you very much. Next, we would like to invite Dr. Winnie Chen from Department of Senior Citizen Service Management of National Taichung University of Science and Technology. Let's welcome Dr. Chen. President Zhang, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends online and in the venue. I'm from the National Taichung University of Science and Technology, and it's my great pleasure to share with you new market positioning and customer value. It's a bit different from the topics discussed earlier, so perhaps if you hear this topic, you expect people to talk about income, talk about cash. So I guess you already have in mind what I'm going to talk about. What are the business opportunities in elderly care in the senior business? Following on the book that Dr. Golden has written, we talk about how we have different goals and topics at different stages in life. Here I'd like to use a life map that was created by Stanford in a 2018 meeting by Anthony Weeks. And you see the different topics and goals at the different stages. So here I have listed the new 10 principles of our map of life. And this covers your daily life, your health, as well as your objectives. So when we invest in so-called a centenarian life, the outcomes and results are definitely abundant. As seniors make up an increasingly important part of the market, life is no longer linear, but rather it is a crisscross of different pathways. And we need to start to think about this early on. Many of our speakers have shared with you wonderful ideas for the senior population. So when we talk about the business model, in the past, we looked at life from a linear perspective. And later, we had the C-type life cycle. But nowadays, the author has created the 5 stages for life, and it's no longer linear or circular. Therefore, if you want to get the correct business model, you may need to look at many different aspects. From the summarized ideas that we have seen, Ms. Golden has mentioned the key focuses for the senior market in the future. This will include, for example, housing, money and security, care and family, purpose and giving, spiritual identity, learning connections, citizens, communities, health and longevity. And these are the subcategories that can be utilized if you're talking about tapping the senior market. What I would like to talk about is something before this. When we talk about innovation or creativity, where would you put your budget? Usually it's on the process innovation or product innovation, and oftentimes no one puts budgets in how to sell the product. We talk about developing technology and developing the product, but we don't talk about how to sell the product. About 90% is used on the innovation, and only 10% is used in the innovation of the business model. However, it's the business model that brings in the most margin or brings in the most revenue. So I think this is the slide that I want to share with you as we talk about business models. So when we talk about innovations in business model, there are a lot of myths. There, as you can see from this slide, these are the myths that we have seen.
And also, from disruptive innovation, all of a sudden, people start to swipe their cell phones, or you need to embrace high technologies, or you need to be very smart. People like Einstein or Steve Jobs, you can come up with something different, or I want to expand my scope, the scope of my business operation, or I need to have a strong R&D team. But when it comes to innovation, these are not the root causes. To give you an example, Amazon started with a garage. The founder was trying to do something that he would not feel sorry for the rest of his life. At that beginning, he did not have money. He did not have enough money to set up a physical bookstore. That's why he started to sell books online. And also Apple, it did not manufacture any CD, but it started. But I think Steve Jobs' invention is from a team. Actually, there are also other external teams, not even iPhone teams. And also, another myth is that I cannot afford to support so many employees or any actors. But Pixar could win 11 Oscar awards. Netflix, I'm really impressed. In the beginning, it started with distributing CDs by mail order. So in the beginning, the business model was not like what it is business model today. It was not disrupted in the beginning, and also Skype. It doesn't have any sunken cost. It did not go through such a large-scale communications infrastructure, but at that time it was the largest telecom operator. And Starbucks could use standardized operation to sell. He could sell very expensive coffee, which is standardized products. The slide that you're looking at is a summary of the business models summarized by the researcher. There is a trees engineering method. And let's try to do something like this. If I want to sell something, whatever I want to do, maybe I can come up with a few models. And then I can come up with models that will show me how to market the products. So this is a kind of a business model innovation. And there are 55 common business models, which are not new. They have long existed. So this is a business model innovation map. So there are 55 models. You need to consider who your targets are, what kind of value you want to bring, how can you become profitable. And this is a golden triangle. There are 55 business models at play. I don't know if you can see these words clearly. I am sure that there are 55 because I created the slide. But how do you do this? How do we resolve the issues? First of all, you need to find a very similar concept as to how other people succeed. Maybe you can emulate. You can emulate how other people achieve success. So I think it's called homogeneity rewrite or conflict rewrite. Let me give you a few simple examples. Of course, I cannot cover all of the examples. For new drug development, for example, the concept is very simple. If I want to develop new drugs, I just want your money? No. I want an opportunity to trade. I give you new drugs. Maybe you can provide subjects for me to try my new drugs. So I think this happens. They are this concept is used by food bank or other different types of organizations. And India's Aravind Eye Hospital is a Robin Hood style hospital. What is Robin Hood? It robs the rich people, but provide relief to the poor people. For people who are rich, and this is a very famous eye hospital, rich people will have to pay a higher fee, medical costs, but for poor people, sometimes they don't charge anything at all. But the services are quite different. For the poorest, they just make sure that they can treat your diseases. But for high-income individuals, they provide different medical treatments. For long-term care, I think we have something like this as well. This is the same concept at play. But sometimes for the disadvantaged people, they cannot enjoy this kind of a service. How can the poor people borrow money? Well, some people can. This guy can. He set up a mutual cooperative. That is, I can provide guarantee to you, and you provide guarantee to me, and we can, through the peer pressure, we need to work together and we need to succeed. And this is the concept of cooperatives. In addition to the insurance for the caregivers, we also have a common mechanism under the long-term care scheme. If you look at other older examples, Xerox, for example, is a copier manufacturer. It has a business model involving leasing instead of purchasing. That is, you don't need to purchase the copiers. You can rent the copiers. But for long-term care institutions or elderly clubs, is there any sometimes there are things that we are not afford. Sometimes we feel that we cannot afford certain things. Maybe instead of purchasing something, maybe the idea is that we can, instead of purchasing the things, we can rent it. So I think I can. This is a very good example. And the home buy in UK, if you cannot afford a house, I can only get maybe 50% loan, the loan to cover 50% of the value, and the rest will be provided by the government. The government will own part of the owner will have the ownership of a part of the property. But this is something different from quite different from what we are used to in our country. But if you can look seriously consider the business models, you will feel that it's quite interesting. And this is crowdfunding. I can come up with a proposal, and people who are interested will provide the funding. But there are too many issues about long-term care. I'm not very smart. Well, it's okay. Just make the proposal. Other people may be interested and come up with ideas. So how do I manage this kind of a business? So all the participants can be invited, and you can assign the mission to all the participants, and they can come up with products. But the operation is conducted by my company. So you can see that this is something we can think about. Maybe it can be a viable business model in the future. And in this book contains several case studies. Let me share with you. For example, it has a silver nest and red nest. Basically, this is the idea that we all know. The old people have the property, but they don't have anyone to live with. But the young people cannot afford a house. Maybe they can live together. So you can trade things, with physical things, instead of purchasing with money. So I think by doing so, you can have both markets that can be created. And then you can also create partnerships among different organizations, different groups. And this is a beautiful business model as depicted in this book. This book is highly recommended. And also, in the face of COVID-19, we see that a lot of people died. A lot of people are dying. And if that happens to you, you feel sorry that you have not planned in advance. And some college students created a computer program, and then the program enabled people to leave their wills. They create something that is customizable within a short period of time, and people can leave their will using the application. And then you can draft your will, and through digital certification, and the people who leave the will be very grateful, and then they will just wire the payment directly. And also, they can also indicate the kind of funeral services that will be needed. And for cake, I think this is very similar. So maybe I'll still cover. Let me introduce this because the business model is very successful. This company also come up with a platform. They didn't sell the product to insurance companies, but to financial companies in exchange for their customers who will receive their services. I am the conductor. I only conduct the core of the planning, and the rest of the work is outsourced to other parties. So ultimately, when you need to develop different demands, you need to collect information from customers, and then you need to open up the opportunities so that everybody can participate. And there is an online educational group. This is also very successful, and the programs can be customized over a short period of time, and it can be the services can be provided in the form of a club, and people can learn together so that you through the peer pressure you can be more effective in terms of learning, and also advertising opportunities also exist as a result. And this is the best business model. I like to leave it to the last. This is my pain point. I have purchased a lot of bodybuilding equipment, but I don't use it that much. And this is what it does. It can customize, it can sell you the services, the tools you need. I think it's tied to the health insurance plan. If the healthier you are, the better services I can provide to you, the cost of the service will be cheaper. So this company, if it's combined with the national health care insurance, this company will definitely be profitable. But my time is almost up. Well, this is my reference data. It's okay, I can provide the presentation materials to those who need them. So that concludes my sharing. These are the pictures taken from our 50 plus. They are very enthusiastic members. I'm also a member of this organization. There are members who are older than I am. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Chen, for your wonderful sharing. Please stay on the stage. President Zhang is going to present a plaque of appreciation. Thank you, Professor Chen. Now, please be seated. We just talked about business model and technological innovation. The next speaker is Zongyong Li, the president and chairman of the Taiwan Elderly Care Industry Association. The topic is development status and sustainability prospects of senior citizen industry. Welcome. I have wear two hats. I'm currently the president of the Health Zhonghua Senior Care Company Limited, and also the chairman of the Taiwan Elderly Care Industry Association. 10 years ago, when I was about to enter the field of long-term care, I thought that it was a social welfare concept. And because so for social welfare, there are two phenomena. Your client is the government. Your income is the government grant.
But of course, I am a company. Therefore, I need to look at this as from a business perspective, from a corporate perspective. And that was why I tried to take the leap. And that has brought me 18 years into this market. So I believe I have some experience that I can share with you that you might want to hear about. So over the past 18 years, what I learned was many seniors need not just to be cared for, but also they have needs that need to be satisfied. For example, they want to travel, they want to enjoy different dishes, they need to manage their finances. And it's not just it cannot just be handled by one industry. So I believe that we actually need help from different industries, and that was why I established the Taiwan Elderly Care Industry Association. We need integration among these different industries. If you look at the elderly care, the industry itself has focused not much on the market. I wanted to create a platform where these companies can discuss and share information with each other. I don't see many seniors in the room today. So my question is, have you thought how well, you're prepared for in terms of senior life. I have a friend who had a father that had a nasty fall, and suddenly needed someone to take care of his everyday life. And my friend was at a loss because he lived in Taipei and the father was in Tainan, and it was difficult for him to get someone to help immediately. I'd actually like to share with you this book that was written in Japan that focused on the elderly female, and it was a bestseller in talking about how females should approach retirement. There was also feedback who's talked about, so why isn't there a book for males? So the author actually wrote another book on retirement for males, and both actually bestsellers. So this is actually not a question that no one is asking, but rather we need to ask ourselves, how do we plan to live out our old age, as no one has actually taught us how to prepare for it or to view it positively. We talk about making money, about earning a living at work, but what should we do when we're old? Other than creating revenue, we also talk about learning. If you look back to what we taught, or what was taught at school, is it sufficient for you? Do you need to learn more in order to cope with the world when you're a senior? Perhaps what we learned at school is not enough to sustain us through our entire lifespan. So learning is also important. When we talk about the elderly industry, these are the challenges that the industry faces. They have challenges in terms of building up economy of scale, how to sell the actual product or service, establishing business models, whether the developers truly understand the users. For example, is your market targeted at the senior or at the caregiver? My experience tells me that it's actually easier to sell products and services to caregivers because it alleviates their pressure. So instead of targeting the senior, you actually have to target the senior's caregivers. This is another slide that I like to present to you. That is, what is your perception of aging? In the book, it also talks about how you perceive the life you would go through as a senior. There was a survey for people over 73 years old, and a very small percentage believe that they are seniors. Being old doesn't mean that you have to be ill, or it means that you have to be confined to bed. Seniors may have on average 8.7 years of life left, but this doesn't mean that you have to be confined to your bed. If you go to tourist attractions, you can see a lot of seniors enjoying the sights. So they may have chronic diseases, but they are still able to move around. So does the senior actually need medical services? They don't necessarily have to visit the hospital on a daily basis. We have medicine for chronic diseases. So that's how we look at healthcare and aging. How average lifespan, I think that's not that important, because the point is how you live your life. Whether you live to 80 years old, 85 years old is actually not that important. It's actually the quality of life that matters. Next, we look at technology. Is technology used in caregiving? Well, I would say yes, but not entirely. When you think of technology, you may think of the cutting-edge technology, but that's not necessarily the case here. For example, if a caregiver only needs to do 3 things, first is clean up the room, make meals, and wash clothes. If caregivers only need to do these 3 things, then we can use technology to resolve it. We have, for example, washing machines. We have cell phones. You can use Uber Eats to order food. And you have these automatic cleaning machines at home, these cleaning robots at home that can help you clean up the room. So technology is useful and good, but it's not necessary to use the most cutting-edge technology. Of course, that was just an example I gave. When we talk about the business opportunities in the senior population, we have to be aware of the actual numbers. The National Health Administration reports that only about 12.7% of the elderly population in Taiwan is severely disabled. That is, the population that needs assistance, either machine assistance or other forms of assistance. This means that they are still about 87.3% of the elderly population that are able to live life to its fullest. So this is actually a very important concept to have. When we think of the elderly population, we must not think of just people who are confined to their beds, but actually those who are willing and happy to move around and enjoy life. So this is the path that this industry has taken. When we think of caregivers, we think of giving or providing care to the ill. And the first venue we think of for caregivers would be, of course, hospitals. But actually, hospitals are very different, and healthcare is actually a very different concept. When we talk about the medical services provided at a hospital, the purpose is to cure the illness and then send you home. Hospitals don't want patients who stay there for over, say, 5 days or 7 days. But if we talk about caregiving or healthcare, that's actually a lifelong pursuit. So these are actually 2 different. Medical services are very different from healthcare services. When we look at a senior, perhaps a person has bad teeth and cannot chew tough food. Therefore, the person may need a special diet. And other than this, the person would also have other needs. This is not something that can be provided at the hospital, but rather this is part of the healthcare. For example, the senior may want to travel around. So how do we design the travel plan or the travel agenda so that it meets the seniors' objectives and plans? So these are all concepts that we should keep in mind when designing products or services for the senior. Of course, a good product or service would always be human-oriented, and in this case, senior-oriented. It may sound vague at this point, but to be more concrete, we want seniors to still be respected. We want them to still keep their self-esteem. And the older they get, the more attention they actually need. I would say the high point in culture is one that the society is able to show respect to the elderly. This is a book that I actually wrote a preface for. Therefore, I actually spent a lot of time to carefully read this book. So I actually read it 3 to 4 times before I wrote my preface. And the book gives us several very good ideas. The first is, if you look at the demand side, where are your customers? And if you look at the product side, what kind of products or services are the ones that sell and ones that customers or consumers are willing to pay for? We also have to talk about the after service. What kind of after service can you provide for these products? Finally, we also have to talk about the industry chain. We already understand that this industry requires expertise from various fields. So it's not just one industry that can satisfy the needs of seniors. You would need to look at the industry chain, how health promotion, residential patterns, data analysis, dining support, life aids, etc. can all work together to provide services for a senior. When a senior is at home, he or she actually has a lot of needs, but perhaps the person does not know how to get support in these different areas and how the person can get respect from these different areas. So these are actually all areas that seniors require services. Seniors, for example, are most concerned about having a nasty fall. But if you're able to, for example, carry out a simple renovation in the bathroom, it could greatly decrease the chances of seniors sustaining a fall in bathrooms. We're currently working with 7 schools, and our focus is on caregiving is not just providing the daily needs. It's not just wiping one's bottom or providing food. We're not making a comparison with immigrant workers, but rather we want to see the birth of a new industry, a caregiving industry that targets seniors. And if you want to create such an industry, you need to create hope for those who want to enter this industry. For example, if I ask myself, would my son, or would it be fine for me to see my son enter the caregiving industry, then this actually tells me what the caregiving industry needs at this point in time. Therefore, from a corporate perspective, we need to ensure that people entering the industry has a clear career path and that the person knows what position he or she will be at in, say, 5 years or 7 years, what is the expected salary, etc. Right, so in the interest of time, as I've talked about earlier, we need to remind people to be aware of how they want to live their elderly life. You need to manage your finances and understand your needs in the post-retirement life. We currently see different accounts for seniors. For example, for my part, you have accounts at the government. We have insurance policies. For example, we also work with Cathay Life. It's not an ad, but if you purchase a life insurance, then you may get some annuities or different services that are covered by the insurance. So you have to raise their awareness for your elderly life.
But if you want to ensure your retirement, maybe having kids is not an ultimate solution. Maybe you should have, you will be better off if you have a proper insurance. I think this book is also delivering a very important message like that. And you should plan your life for different stages. Who says that you should get married at the age of 30? You can get married at the age of 50 as well. So you don't need to be conditioned or restrained by your age. I'm really amazed that the communities, a lot of things have been done at the community level. So I'm here to share and also to learn. This slide is very important. Ideal aging. What is ideal aging life? First of all, I think care service should be a life service. We should reduce the time when you are institutionalized. The longer you stay at home, the better off you are. don't try to move into this kind of institution too early. So I think it's preferable to stay in your familiar environment as long as you can, but you need to link that with a friendly community. If your family cannot take care of you, you need to be linked to community resources. So we need to have friendly communities or mutual care networks, and also suitable housing. And you need to probably make changes to your home. You don't need to create something like what is available in the hospital, but you can make some simple change to your facilities at home. And also you need to have financial planning and support. Now, it's possible to have a trust mechanism to protect your assets from being stolen. Technologies are advancing, and Taiwan is blessed with advanced technologies. I think technological advancements will be very fast in Taiwan, but we still need to come up with proper business models. And this slide shows that there are different types of sectors involved in the operation of my association. So you can see that there are many company names listed here that have worked with my association. I think I've covered this aspect already. We need to change our perspectives regarding the different stages of our life. And I'd like to use sentence as the conclusion of my presentation. I think the senior citizens are the most wealthy population in Taiwan, and the purchasing power is significant. So this is the largest market. So if you're not yet ready, if you haven't made the preparation, you may feel sorry if you don't prepare for the coming of the market. So this is the sentence I'd like to share with you as a conclusion of my presentation. Thank you very much for your presentation, and President Zhang is going to present a plaque of appreciation to you as well. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd like to thank all the speakers for their presentation and for their sharing. I'm sure you still have a lot of thoughts you'd like to share, or also your questions you'd like to raise. Now we are going to proceed with the questions and answers session. Now I'd like to invite Vice President Shi Longchen of CPC to preside over the Q&A session. I'd also like to thank our speakers and also our audience for participating in our event today. There are three things I want to share with you. This is a Q&A session, but it seems to me that our time is running short. And so far, we haven't collected questions. Maybe the presentations are quite clear. And if you have any subsequent questions, you can still use the QR code, and we'll be able to forward the questions to the speakers. And secondly, I think CPC has come up with the funding on its own to conduct today's event. And also, we work with associations in Taiwan. And in the presentation just now, we can see that the industry associations have been very successful. I'd like to thank them for helping us invite the Minister Lin to join us, and also the sharing is also very important because today's event is also attended by APO's members remotely. productivity is a very important element, and CPC plays a very important role. So we have been involved in various projects such as senior employment, and also CPC has conducted programs to facilitate the government for the promotion of various concepts. And also for CPC, I think the challenge is to carry out the education and implement them in the industries. This is a service chain. So because of our event, I have get acquainted with many important members of the sectors. And this is wonderful opportunities for us to achieve the linkage. But the very important theme is productivity in the context of longevity. I think I have learned a lot myself. So in that trend, there are still there are unlimited business opportunities after retirement, and also the more business opportunities can be created by incumbent and businesses. So we talk about diversity and also co-prosperity. We have seen a lot of case studies, and they are very good stimulus for us to join hands in pushing forward relevant work. And also, in terms of the creation of organizations for sustainable operation of the creation of new business opportunities, I have seen limitless opportunities. So I think I'd like to thank all of you, all of the speakers, for your support, and also the people attending online. And more importantly, I'd like to invite our president, because the president of CPC is paying great attention to this aspect of work. Maybe I'd like to invite President Chen to say a few words to conclude our event. I'm not going to come onto stage. Thank you. I'd like to thank all the speakers and also our friends from the sectors, old friends and new friends. I'd like to say sorry to you because during the break, I was told that there was a wonderful sharing, but we didn't give enough time to the presenters. But this is an international forum because we have online connections, and also due to the differences in time zones. In the future, I'm sure we are going to conduct similar events. But we talk about diversity and co-prosperity. I think the most important thing is lifelong learning, and also continuous value creation. More importantly, we need to have a diverse partnership. CPC should play the role as a platform. Since the inception of CPC, CPC has always played the role of a platform. We harness the government's resources and also our energy, our capacity to link with the academia and the industry. Now CPC is internationalized. Now through APO, we can link with more than 20 member countries of APO. The theme of today's event is longevity. On the 20th, we'll focus on smart manufacturing and ESG. But because of our limitation on our capacity, so I think if we need collaboration. We need to work together. We need to have consensus. We need to share a vision so that our joint project can be successful. So I'd like to thank you for your support, and we may need to make improvements. Please don't be shy. Please let us know. Today, due to the constraint of the venue, we can allow more time for further discussion. We look forward to the next event. If you have any input you'd like to share with us, please use our QR code and provide your feedbacks. We will definitely respond to your questions. I'd like to thank all of you who are paying great attention to this subject matter. Thank you very much. See you next time. Thank you, President Zhang. We'll stop here. Thank you once again. And we also have a QR code for which will guide you to questionnaires. Please leave your feedback. Thank you very much.